everybody, today I am going to do, are you ready? The impossible. Are you ready for it? So today I am going to take the liquid inside of this cup. Now this is just water, but I dyed it green so that you can see it a little better. And I am first going to just pour it on this plate. Now here's the impossible part. I am going to get this liquid back into this cup, but I'm not going to scoop it. I'm not going to pour it from the plate into the cup. I'm not going to use a spoon to get it back in. I'm going to get it back into this cup, and guess what? I am going to do it with the cup upside down. Do you think I can do it? Can a cup hold liquid when it's upside down? That sounds impossible. But I'm gonna do it. Are you ready? Now, before I do this experiment, I need to remind you that if you wanna try this at home, you must do it with a grown-up. Can you do it by yourself? No! That's right, you cannot do this by yourself at home. You need a grown-up. But I will show you how to do it. Are you ready? Okay, I think in order to do this, we should zoom in. So, to get that liquid into this upside down cup, here's what we're gonna do. I have a match. Remember, you need a grown-up to do this at home. And I lit, this is just a regular candle in a little container. I'm gonna set it right here. Are you ready? Let's get the last water. Here we go. Now watch what happens, and if you look around the edges, you'll see water that's starting to come into my cup. Wait for it, wait for it, wait for it, wait for it. Look at that water coming up inside my cup. How cool is that? So I didn't actually do the impossible, did I? I did a science experiment, and you can do this too with a grown-up at home. But you know who can do the impossible? And you know who is in fact in the business of doing the impossible? God. God does the impossible all the time. And now remember that as humans, things that feel impossible to us are not impossible to God. Have you ever prayed a prayer and thought, this is too big for God. This is too hard. This is too much. I can't ask God to do this. This is too big. He's not going to answer this prayer. Or even, have you ever not prayed a prayer, not prayed it at all because you felt like this thing that you wanted to ask God to do was too big, too impossible, it just wasn't gonna happen? Look, I'm a little older than you kiddos who are watching this right now, but I felt this way too, even as a grown-up. I think a lot of grown-ups feel this way too, that some things are just so big and so hard. But we have to remember that God is in the business of doing the impossible. That is what He does. So your biggest prayers, the biggest things in your life and in our world, we can give those to God because He wants to do the impossible for us. It's not impossible for God. In fact, it says this over and over in the Bible. We read about God doing impossible things. And if we go to the book of Matthew, chapter 19, verse 26, Jesus says, with man, this is impossible. But with God, all things are possible. All things, all things. That's crazy. That's amazing. God does the impossible. So today, in just a minute, you're going to hear a story about someone in the Bible who wanted something impossible. And God said, I'm going to do this thing. I'm going to do this impossible thing. And in fact, when God said that, do you know what this person did? She laughed. She laughed because it seemed so unbelievable, so impossible that she laughed. But guess what God did? Well, I don't want to spoil the story, so put on your listening ears and wait and see. And I will see you next week. Bye.